Hey everybody, Jabiz Raisdana here, and I'm having a particularly good marking assessment session, and I thought I'd kind of walk people through the process, just to give you a sense of kind of what's working for us at UWC in our English department. So what we're assessing here was a check-in on some reading skills that we're doing, and we wanted to take a look at some of our students' notebooks and what the kind of writing they're doing about their reading. So this is a checklist. This is a student-facing checklist that all of the students have in their notebooks. So some of the skills we're basically working on are their habits. Are they able to take notes, prepare for partner conversations? Can they make more than one interpretation? Remain open and make predictions? Writing long, using some prompts about deeper thinking, and make claims about character. So these are the skills we're looking for to see if these students can do. What we asked them to do, we pushed out a Google Doc using Hapara, which is the teacher dashboard. It kind of looks like this. And we created a blank document that had all of this information on it. So for example, as you can see, here is the first point from the checklist. Same language as we have on our paper student-facing checklist, so it seems familiar to students. And then we had them write a little bit about what the skill means to them, how they've done it, and kind of what they need to do next. And then on the right-hand side, we had them take a picture from their notebook in a place where they've kind of explored this. So as you can see, this is a student here, and she says, to me, this means having a place to observe. Well, you can read it for yourself, so there it is. That's a little bit short on writing, but as we scroll down, we can see, and here's more examples of her examples from the notebook and then her understanding of that skill. And we have done that for all 5 of the skills. So as you can see, this student's notebook is looking pretty spectacular, actually. So what I will do then is I will kind of read over each of their explanations and look at their writing, and I will give them kind of a smiley face here on iDocu, which is a program I use to keep track of student progress. So as we come to this student, here is the skill again, making thinking visible. So as you can see, that matches our student-facing checklist. And I would say, I would give her, sorry, let me see if I can do this with my finger at the same time. I would give her kind of a smiley face, right? So if I'm thinking that she's doing this work pretty well and I like her explanation, I would kind of go in and give her a smiley face like that. Another thing that I can do with iDocu is I can give her a comment, like this. And what I just use dictation. So I go into the comment and it looks something like this. Your notebook is looking fantastic, full stop. I love how you have developed several techniques for tracking your thinking and for tracking your thoughts, full stop. Something like that. And then with this button here, I can email that feedback directly to her. And so she gets that feedback directly about the work that she's done. And then the final step of what I do is I have a notebook here that I use for conferencing with students. And I usually just make a box and I would put down maybe 1 or 2 teaching points. So next time I confer with this student, I can teach them what they need to do based on the feedback. So it's basically receive the work like this through a Google Doc with some photos of their notebook, give some immediate holistic feedback here, and track kind of their progress for my own note-taking, so I know kind of how they're doing. And then here, I track a teaching point so I know what to talk to them about during the next conference. One other cool thing that we can do is on iDocu, I can arrange a seating plan and then organize them based on any of the criteria I want. So if I want to see, which ones are taking basic notes, I can push on that, and then it comes up with the smiley faces I gave them. So I can then move them around based on how they're doing that skill. So I can create groups and say, these 4 students here need some help with interpretation. These 5 students need to work on predicting. So anyway, this has been a pretty good system for us. I'm trying to get it down to going through a class in about an hour. It takes a little bit longer than that, but it's a pretty quick process. It's hybrid, it's blurred learning, whatever we're going to call it, but it allows us to give immediate feedback to students, hopefully, and use assessment in a way that is much more formative. We're not really dealing with grades and stuff at this point, just looking at what are they doing based on the teaching points and how can I help them immediately to find next steps. I hope that's helpful. Thanks.